All right.
Thank you.
I had a number of other people signed up to speak, and we're going to have limited time today, so I'm going to call just a few to be heard, and then we'll take action on this bill. Kristina Flores. Am I pronouncing that right?
You got it right.
All right. If you'll take, you were here yesterday. I wanted to make sure you got heard.
Thank you.
All right, esteemed members of the committee, thank you so much for your time today. So I just was able to look over the substitutions, and while I had something else to say, I'm deeply concerned about the substitutions. While there were already some unintended consequences for business owners, farmers, and medical patients, we've now lumped in several categories, and I'd like to say exactly what was said earlier. This takes a sledgehammer to the industry. We really want to be mindful of this language and really look at the packaging limits. I believe that if we put this bill through, we are going to greatly put Georgia behind when it comes to hemp business. We are all for sensible policy. I am a mother myself. I don't want my child eating gummies, but that's also something that I take care of at home. We need to make sure that education is happening in the home, the same way we require education for alcohol consumption in our home. It's on the parents to ensure that we are taking care of our children and keeping them safe. So I say that it is very important that we look at the language in this bill again before we pass it through. I completely oppose it. It is not ready to go to the public. There are too many unintended consequences.
So it seems like you're saying your industry doesn't survive unless you can sell these products that have more than 0.3% of THC.
No, that's not what I'm saying at all.
You're wanting to be able to sell the Delta 8, Delta 10, Delta 11 to get around the Delta 9 ban?
Let me be clear. I actually don't sell products. I represent patients. I'm a patient advocate, and so I'm. And
this
also,
isn't the medical marijuana we're talking about today. This is the hemp consumables.
yes.
Gotcha.
Well, I do want to be clear that I do not sell them, but I do represent several people within my community who do sell them and have taken great issue with this. We want to make sure that we are selling safe products on the market, but not restricting so heavily what is happening here. I think that we need more experts on this bill. It is not ready to go, and I urge that we do not vote yes on this bill today.
Should we continue to allow the sale of these hemp products then until we figure it out, or should we just ban the sale till we can find some
I absolutely
comfortable
don't
levels that we can protect the safety of our children and
I
adults?
absolutely don't think that we should ban the sale. I think that it works in opposition to what we're even trying to do here. We want a thriving hemp market. Business is very important in Georgia. We need to get it right, but we don't need to be extreme in our attempt.
Okay. When the original sort of Farm Act came along and allowed hemp, there was all this emphasis on rope and clothing and everything else. It seems to me that the only viable hemp industry right now is to make consumable products that contain THC.
I think that is inaccurate. There are several apparel brands that rely on hemp to create sustainable. Environmentalists are very hell-bent on hemp products. So I would say that that's an inaccuracy. This is a growing and thriving market, and it could be growing and thriving here in Georgia as well. But it is inaccurate to say that we aren't using it for apparel and other.
So it can be thriving and growing here as long as we allow Delta 8, Delta 10, and Delta 11 in the products.
Yes, and I believe that it is
So
important.
THC containing isomers.
THC, I think, is a very important part of the whole plant medicine. And I know that we have two different categories here in Georgia of medical marijuana and hemp-derived Delta 8 products. But we need to know that THC is a healing element. So it is not just people purchasing it to get high or to use it for recreational purposes. It is also used medicinally. It is sold here in Georgia.
Yeah,
and
I know
has,
we got a whole commission that handles that.
Yes,
from the
so I
medical
just want to make
aspects.
sure, because we are lumping so many categories into one bill, we're now crossing territories, and we need to slow down, have a conversation, and be clear on these categories.
Okay, thank you. Catherine Russell from the Department of Agriculture. No, it's mine and Kay's and the guy from the industry and the ag, all combined.
Good morning,
Good
committee
morning,
members. Good to see you all again. So we are grateful that this committee sub introduces or incorporates some of the changes that we were interested in having. But I actually have some